evening, everybody. If we could have everyone take their seats, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, good evening, and welcome to the Chesapeake Fire Department's 27th Annual Awards and Recognition Ceremony. I'm Deputy Fire Chief Sam Golisano, and I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremony tonight. We're here tonight to recognize the accomplishments of members of our community and our fire department. First responders don't think of their job as just a job. For us, it is a way of life. We're not only members of the Chesapeake Fire Department, but we're members of the Chesapeake Fire Department family. And as such, we gather tonight to celebrate the accomplishments that you're going to hear about tonight. But at this time, I'd like to welcome our special guests and our dignitaries. From our Chesapeake City Council, we have Mr. Mark Hamill, Council Member Dwight Parker, and Council Member Debbie Ritter. We also have from our City Manager staff, Bob Geis. We have from the Newport News Fire Department, Captain Doug Little, and from the Virginia Beach Fire Department, Captain Harold Hill. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And if I missed any of our dignitaries, I apologize, but again, thank you everyone for being here tonight. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Elijah Eagle and Ms. Kimberly Combs to join me on stage. Elijah is a second grader from B.M. Williams Primary School, and Kimberly works in the Support Services Division of the Fire Department. Please stand for the Chesapeake Fire Department Honor Guard and the presentation of colors. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Elijah and followed by the national anthem sung by Kimberly.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Thank you, Elijah and Kimberly. I'd now like to ask Lieutenant Gary Paul come up to the podium for the invocation, please.
Thank you, Chief. Let's open in prayer. Father in heaven, you're good to us, Lord God. I ask your blessings on the ceremony tonight, Lord God, and as we give honor where honor is due tonight, Lord God, I begin with you. I thank you, God, for allowing us a city where we can serve together, we can grow together, and we can love. Lord God, I pray for all of our city leaders tonight. Lord God, I pray for strength and wisdom for our fire chief, Lord God, and all of our CFD members. Lord God, I think of those that we know and those that we love tonight who are sick and who are hurting. Lord God, would you be with them? I pray, Lord, for strength, and I certainly pray for healing. Lord God, would you allow tonight to be a time of refreshing, a time of encouragement for our department, Lord God, and also for our citizens. We thank you. In the name of the Lord Jesus, I come. Amen.
Thank you, LT. Everyone can have a seat, please. I'd now like to welcome our fire chief to the podium. Chief Elliott joined the Chesapeake Fire Department in 1974 and has served as our fire chief since 2010. Please join me in welcoming Chief Elliott.
I'm going to move Chief Golisano's notes to make him have a heart attack tonight. First of all, I want to thank our council members that are here tonight, Debbie Ritter, Mr. Dwight Parker, and Matt Hamill, who I'll introduce in just a little bit, as well as the rest of City Council for your support. And we often look around at other localities and they look back at us with envy, knowing that it's not everywhere that we have the support of City Council that we do here in the City of Chesapeake, and that's for fire service as well as our police department. My boss is here tonight, Mr. Bob Geist, Deputy City Manager. He's taking a Friday night out of his busy week to be here. And I know Chief Golisano would probably disagree, but I think I happen to have the best boss in the City of Chesapeake. But today's modern fire service relies heavily on various analytical tools and performance metrics to ensure best practices and the most effective use of our taxpayer dollars. It's not unusual for our department to participate in surveys and studies involving staffing levels, response times, deployment models, numbers and types of calls, and employee salary compensations. One survey that I have never seen, however, is one that measures and grades the caliber of the people who make up a fire department. Apparatus, equipment, and facilities aside, the fact is it's the people that make the organization. So that made me to start thinking and ask myself this question: what analytics and metrics would I use if it was my job to calculate the caliber and character of the department's most important asset, its human capital? And some of those metrics might include the ratio of the number of response calls to the number of citizen complaints, the ratio of the number of response calls to the number of citizens' letters of commendation, the ratio of the number of firefighters employed by a department compared to the number of serious policy violations of rules and regulations, the number of customer service and assist calls provided above the typical fire and EMS call line of duty, the number of customer satisfaction, level of customer satisfaction as determined by the citizens of that city themselves who are being served. And so, should such a study be conducted, there's no doubt in my mind that the Chesapeake Fire Department would come out with the highest score possible. And I know that some of you are thinking, well, that's what a fire chief is supposed to say, nice stuff about his or her department. And while I would agree with that, let's do this tonight. Prove me wrong. Pay close attention to the awards that will be presented here tonight and prove me wrong. But even more important than any award, mingle with the members of our Chesapeake Fire Department here tonight and get to know them and see for yourself if they're not some of the best people that you will meet anywhere. If you congratulate any of our recipients of the awards tonight, I can guarantee that every response will be, I was just doing my job. In our profession, we have taken that phrase and made it an everyday cliche with very little thought of what doing the job really means. For those of us in the profession, we know what doing the job means, but for our guests here tonight who don't work in public safety, let me explain what doing the job really means. And trust me, it's much more than what you'll see on the 6 o'clock news. And as important as these awards are tonight, a firefighter just doing the job is most often without any word of thanks, any letter of commendation, let alone an award plaque or a Medal of Honor. Consider this: for a firefighter, just doing the job means celebrating Christmas Day with the family on December 24th because you're on duty December 25th. For a firefighter, just doing the job means having Christmas Eve on December 25th and celebrating Christmas Day on the 26th because you're on duty on December 24th. It does get confusing. For a firefighter, just doing the job means that the families will be gathering for Thanksgiving dinner at the firehouse this year because Thanksgiving falls on your shift. For a firefighter, just doing the job is checking your clothes and equipment for bed bugs at 3 o'clock in the morning after transporting that special patient because experience tells you you need to. For a firefighter, just doing the job means finding someone to trade time for a few hours so you can attend your daughter's birthday party or go on your son's school field trip to the zoo. For a firefighter, just doing the job, it's transporting your 3rd flu patient for the shift and wondering if this is the first case in Virginia of the deadly coronavirus, or is it the safer strain of normal flu that's only killed 800 people in the state this season? For a firefighter just doing the job, it's your hot water heater always springing a leak at home when you're on duty on Tuesday and never when you're on your 5-day break, and I can attest to that. The fire chief's office consistently receives phone calls, notes, and emails and letters commending our firefighters for the level of professionalism and care and service that was provided to them. We use those to publish what we call our Friday MVPs to recognize our members and to share examples of high-quality customer service with the rest of the department. The vast majority of those MVPs would never qualify for any formal award at a ceremony such as this tonight, but they do further define just what doing the job really means to a firefighter. Allow me to share just a few recent cases that came across my desk to illustrate. Engine 9 and Medic 2 responded to a call where a patient had varicose veins burst. Getting out of the shower, and she was unable to stop the bleeding. Upon arrival, the crews found the patient in her bloodied bathroom, fading in and out of consciousness. Knowing that the bathroom was a mess and that she had 2 dogs loose in the house, one of the crews stayed behind to clean up the bathroom and put away the dogs so they would not track blood through the house. The patient wrote me an email expressing her gratitude to you for making her feel at ease during such a scary time, and she was extremely appreciative of our team going above and beyond the call of duty to clean up her bathroom. On a working structure fire, crews worked together to knock down the fire and rescue 2 dogs that were still inside the building. Engine 6 crew worked tirelessly to save the dogs. However, sadly, one of them passed away on the scene. Many stayed behind with the family to console them and share in their grief as they tried to process the sudden loss of their beloved furry family member. The family expressed their appreciation in a letter for your quick response and your attempts to save their dog. Every bit of gratefulness, they write, in our bones goes to you. The medic crew and the firefighters rescued our family dog out of the building and began working on her without a thought, so quickly and selflessly, oxygen, CPR, mouth-to-mouth, and chest compressions, just like it was the most important person in the world. Time would not allow, but I could read letter after letter further describing what just doing the job really means. Some of those letters would refer to cleaning up human feces from both the patient and the bedclothes. Some would describe hospital visits to check in on your patients days and even weeks after you originally transported them. Some are from your brother and sister firefighters thanking you for having a hot meal ready for them while you were filling in at their station and they were out fighting fire. One letter is for a typical medical assist in the middle of the night where you discovered the senior citizen patient had not eaten all that day. You found the food in her pantry and refrigerator and cooked up a hot breakfast for her before you cleared your assignment. Is this over-the-top customer service? In our opinion, no, it's not. It's simply Chesapeake firefighters just doing their job. With the names redacted, I'd like to share one letter I received just last week because I believe it not only exemplifies the sentiments of every citizen we serve, but it also could be addressed to every member of the Chesapeake Fire Department. And it reads as such: Dear Chief Elliott, on February 9th, 2020, our family faced one of the most challenging times in our history. Our beloved husband, father, grandfather, and friend suffered a cardiac arrest in his home, which required your firefighters and medics to respond. They did so quickly and worked diligently, offering him the best care that they could. We understand that this is their job and something they do on a daily basis and should be commended on a daily basis, but it's what came after the medics transported him which has impacted our family the most. Although our dad could not ultimately be saved, it is the compassion and professionalism exhibited by all of the firefighters and medics who responded which touched our family. As a result of the treatment he was given on the floor, the carpet was soiled with body fluids which would have been emotionally disturbing for our family to clean. The firefighters on the scene not only comforted our family, but they got on their hands and knees and cleaned the carpet in the most compassionate gesture that will never be forgotten. Unfortunately, in this traumatic time, we were unable to recall the names of those on the scene. We want to extend our most sincere, heartfelt gratitude to all who responded and hope you can please let them know their compassion and care did not go unnoticed and will remain a good memory on an otherwise devastating day for us. We thank you and your firefighter medics for their daily service and pray they stay safe in their continued service. We hope this appreciation letter will be shared with each person who responded on this day. The signature line of this letter contains the family name, but it could just as easily be signed all the grateful citizens of the city of Chesapeake. This call did not make the 6 o'clock news, nor will any honors be awarded for it tonight, but it was a typical bread and butter EMS call, and the crews that responded to assist this family represent our firefighters just doing their job as we do over 600 times a week, every week. While this family could not recall the names of the responders, that was pretty easy for us to do. Tonight, I'd like to recognize the following members who responded to that particular incident because you represent us all, what we do, and how we do it right. So if any of the following members happen to be here tonight, would you please stand so I can recognize you? Captain Jerry Barnes, as your name is called, please stand up. Lieutenant Kyle Billups, Robert Zoller, Chris Carley, Sidney Biddy, Bryce Garnan, Sean Duffy, Scott Depew, Corey Vance, Patrick Martin, David Scott, and Michael Korejic, Jonah Twine. Let's give them a hand for who they are and what they do. To each of our award recipients tonight, congratulations as we celebrate and recognize you for your notable service, achievements, and contributions to our department this past year. But just as important, and perhaps even more so, to each and every member of the Chesapeake Fire Department, we also recognize and honor you for your dedication to duty, your daily service to our citizens, and most of all, for just doing your job. May God bless you and your families and keep you under his safe arm of protection. It is now my pleasure to introduce Council Member Matt Hamill, who will be representing Chesapeake City Council tonight. Matt Hamill was elected to Chesapeake City Council for a 4-year term in 2018. He is a licensed attorney in 3 states, Virginia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Councilmember Hamill served our country on active duty as a U.S. Navy JAG attorney and continues to serve as a U.S. Naval Reservist JAG attorney today. In 2017, he was selected for promotion to commander in the Navy Reserves. Upon his retirement, Councilmember Hamill founded a law firm that serves military service members and spouses in domestic relations and criminal matters. His military decorations include the Joint Service Commendation Medal, 3 Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medals, 3 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals, the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Expert Pistol Shot Medal, and numerous unit and service awards. Matt has earned a Bachelor of Arts from the College of the Holy Cross, and a Juris Doctorate degree from Rutgers University School of Law. Councilmember Hamill is married to the former Karen Priest, and they are proud parents of 4 children, Kaylee, RJ, Brady, and Kennedy. Please help me welcome City Council Member Matt Hamill.
Thank you very much, Chief, and good evening, everybody. As the Chief said, my name is Matt Hamill, and what the Chief didn't tell you is that I'm pinch hitting tonight for you all representing the City Council. Up until about 3 hours ago, I did not know that I was going to be speaking to you tonight, and I was at the State of the City address sitting next to Chief Best, Councilmember Steve Best, and he was supposed to be giving these remarks tonight, and his grandson is turning 2 today, and he leaned over to me and he said, "Would you mind letting me go to my grandson's 2nd birthday?" And I said to him, "You know, Chief, you missed enough birthdays, holidays in your 40-plus year career in this fire department. It'd be my honor to do that." But in all honesty, the real reason why I said yes was not because I love the Chesapeake Fire Department, which I do. It's because I love the cupcakes that Kimberly Combs makes even more, and hearing her sing the national anthem. So I'm your pinch hitter. And the last time I was your pinch hitter, it was I filled in one other time, and I'm always happy to do that, and it was the graduation ceremony at Grassfield High School. And at that ceremony, they had everybody sitting up here behind, everybody was up here because we had to shake everybody's hand. And the chief put me next to this chaplain who was about 6'9" and 300 pounds. And my daughter attended that, and she said, it was at Grassfield in the auditorium, and she sat in the back and she said, "You know, Dad, you're a short guy, but standing next to that guy, man, you look like an absolute midget standing there." And she and my wife are the wind beneath my wings. They just make me feel so good. So anyway, so I'm your pinch hitter tonight, and I'm very delighted to do that. I think that the honors bestowed tonight upon the members of the fire department and the citizen awards are very noteworthy, and I can't wait to hear all about them. I do think that, and I would be remiss if I did not recognize a few people from the council that are here. First, Mr. Parker, where is Mr. Parker? Councilmember Parker. He's my wingman. He always supports me. I try to support him, especially when I've gotten 3 hours notice to give a speech. So I appreciate you being here, Mr. Parker. He loves the fire department. And Councilwoman Ritter, I'll tell you, when I got elected a couple of years ago, one of the first things I came to Councilwoman Ritter, I said, you have any advice for me on the council? And honest to goodness, she said to me, she goes, in my 20-plus years on council, in every vote that I take, in every budget that I've approved, I will never cast a vote if I think it will hurt a city employee, especially our public safety and fire department. And I took that to heart, and I know that she's here. She's always at these ceremonies, and I echo what the chief said. We are a city that has a wonderful working relationship, not just among our council, but between our council and our city departments. And I'm very proud of the fact that our city stays out of the press. You don't see our treasurer going to jail. You don't see our auditor going to jail. You don't see our Commonwealth's attorney getting a DUI. I'm probably the most likely person to wind up on the front page doing something embarrassing out of all the people on the council, and I'm going to try my best not to let that happen. And I also want to thank the chief for allowing me to do this, and somehow you got my name in the program on 3 hours notice, and I don't know how he pulls this stuff off. And I want to make the chief feel old for just 1 second, because it inspires me when I hear about the fact that he joined the city fire department in 1974. Chief, I was born in 1974, and I've got a daughter graduating high school, but I sincerely hope that our chief remains our chief for as long as he wants to be our chief, because every time he speaks, I learn something. He brings very practical examples, and he shows a humble leadership that I think every single one of us can learn from. But we're here tonight not to honor the chief, although he's deserving of that. We're here to honor those of you tonight who have made us proud in the city. And I'm here on behalf of the city and the mayor and the city council to tell you how proud of you we are. We're especially proud of our citizen awardees. We're especially proud of those of you within the fire department. We have lots of challenges, but when you make us proud, those challenges seem surmountable. And I will say this, you know, as Greenbrier goes vertical, your training needs to go vertical too. And that means you constantly need to evolve, you need to grow, you need to train in different ways, and we need to provide you the support to do that. And so I'm not gonna drone on and on tonight. I know you got a big program. The chief told me to keep it short. And you know what? I'm happy to do it. I'm very honored to be here. Congratulations to those of you that are winning awards tonight. And thank you very much for letting me be a pinch hitter once again for the fire department. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Hamill. I appreciate you spending a Friday night with us. Thank you, sir. We'd now like to take a moment to remember members of our CFD family that we lost in 2019. Although we still grieve for those that we've lost this past year, we joyfully remember them and continue to support and love their families and friends that they've left behind. I'd now like to ask our Division Chief, Donnie Wooten, to join me on stage, along with our Fire Chief, as we get ready to present our awards tonight. Recipients, when your name is called, please approach from the right side of the stage. Would Mr. Bill Perrin please join me on stage? Bill was in the process of launching his boat during the early morning hours of November 4th, 2019 at the Jordan Bridge boat ramp. Little did he know that just yards away there was a young woman in distress in the middle of the Elizabeth River. As Bill was leaving the dock, Engine 1 arrived and the officer explained the desperate situation. He asked if Bill would take them to the patient, and Bill agreed without hesitation. CFD personnel jumped on the boat and headed to the bridge, where they quickly located and pulled the patient from the water. They returned to the dock and transferred patient care to an ambulance. Due to this assistance, CFD personnel were able to assess the patient and begin treatment expeditiously. The Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Mr. Bill Perrin with the Citizen Service Award.
Would Mr. Mike Siggins please join me on the stage? This incident also occurred at the Jordan Bridge. On April 17, 2019, CFD units were dispatched to the Jordan Bridge to help a person who had jumped from the bridge. Mike was southbound on the river in his own boat and was experiencing some engine trouble. He was aware that there was a person in the water, and as police and fire units arrived, realized that time was of the essence. Mike pulled alongside the unconscious person and was able to successfully get them in his boat. He quickly returned to the launch area and, risking damage to his vessel, drove right up to the ramp. Fire and EMS personnel packaged the patient in the boat and loaded him in an awaiting ambulance. Your actions saved time and resources by allowing the CFD to gain quick access to this patient. The Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Mr. Mike Siggins with the Citizens Service Award.
Now I'd like to invite Christopher and Elizabeth Springs to the stage, please. On October 19th, 2019, Chris and his wife Elizabeth were having dinner at a local restaurant. Elizabeth noticed a patron behind her husband that appeared to be in distress and asked if they were okay. An immediate response from the customer made it clear that this was a choking situation. Chris, an off-duty firefighter paramedic with the Virginia Beach Fire Department, sprang into action and administered the Heimlich maneuver. When CFD units arrived, the patient was talking and breathing normally. Your quick and responsive action undoubtedly made a difference in this person's life. Mr. and Mrs. Springs, please accept the Citizen Service Award on behalf of the Chesapeake Fire Department.
Before I read this next award, let me provide some background information. PulsePoint is a nonprofit foundation dedicated to making it easier for citizens training CPR to respond. They created an app called PulsePoint Respond. App users can be notified if someone nearby is having a cardiac emergency. PulsePoint Respond was first used in Chesapeake in 2018. Would Miss Rose Yohe and Mr. Dustin McCullen please join me on stage? On Wednesday, September 4th, 2019, CFD units responded to a local Walmart parking lot for a reported unconscious person with CPR in progress. The first units on scene observed two bystanders performing high quality and effective compressions and ventilations. A pulse point notification made Dustin, an off-duty Newport News firefighter, aware of the situation. Rose, a registered nurse, jumped in to assist. By the time the CFD units took over the patient and regained a pulse and was attempting to breathe, you both chose to respond and get involved. Thank you. The CFD is pleased to present the Citizens Service Award to Ms. Rose Yohe and to Mr. Dustin McCullen.
Would Mr. Michael Phillips and Mr. Jacob Kusaba please join me on stage? October 13th, 2019, CFD units were dispatched to a vehicle fire on the Chesapeake bypass. Dispatch advised responders that the engine was on fire and that 2 people were still in the vehicle. Michael and Jacob were both driving by and both stopped to help. Michael was able to pull the driver and a 2-year-old child from the car. The driver was unable to care for the child, and Jacob immediately took responsibility for the toddler, distracting him for an extended period of time until other family members could arrive. For unselfishly helping neighbors in need, the CFD is pleased to present the Citizen Service Award to Mr. Michael Phillips and Mr. Jacob Kusaba. At this time, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry. So now I'd like to invite Chief Elliott back to the podium for a special presentation to Mission Barbecue.
Would Mr. Steve Weaver, Mr. Patrick Seipert, Ms. Meredith Leipert, Ms. Chloe North, Ms. Tariq White, please come forward. Firefighter EMT Megan Gallo, would you please join us on stage? Mission Barbecue opened its very first location on September 11th, 2011. This was no coincidence, as it was the 10th anniversary of a day that forever changed our world. The founders of Mission Barbecue, Bill Krause and Stephen Newton, believe there's nothing more American than barbecue. They also believe there's nobody more American than the brave men and women who represent our military, firefighters, police officers, and all first responders who have sworn to protect and serve our country and our communities. Bill and Newt believe that public service is what makes our country great, and that those who serve are heroes. On May 1st, 2017, Mission Barbecue opened its first Chesapeake location. From the beginning, they have been an extremely community-oriented organization. They provided food and drinks for events such as our 9/11 anniversary, Chesapeake Fire Department Recruit Academy, on emergency scenes, and many, many other special events. We're grateful for this opportunity to present this plaque as a token of our appreciation to Mission Barbecue for their ongoing support. Thank you.
I'd like to mention that Mission Barbecue is at it again. If you notice a huge raffle basket in the foyer, then you notice Mission Barbecue's latest donation to a first responder. Proceeds from the raffle will go to offset medical expenses for one of our retired firefighter EMTs, Dale Ragland. So thank you, Mission Barbecue. Now I'd ask for all of our 2019 retirees who are going to be recognized tonight to please start making your way to the right side of the stage, where a committee member will assist you. So some of our retirees have chosen to move out of the area and are unable to make it tonight. However, we still want to recognize them as well as those that are able to attend. So as I read your name, please proceed to the stage. Battalion Chief Carl Ackus, 40 years of service. Master Firefighter Paramedic Barry Bailey, 26 years of service. Lieutenant Brian Evers, 29 years of service. Firefighter EMT Jeff Everson, 21 years of service. Deputy Fire Chief Dan Vermeil, 31 years of service. Senior Firefighter Chuck Poole, 20 years of service. Kim Sawicki, 19 years of service. Master Firefighter Paramedic Tony Stewart, 29 years of service. Firefighter Paramedic Michelle Streetman, 19 years of service. And Lieutenant Forrest Winslow, 27 years of service. To all of our retirees, thank you for your hard work and the dedication that you've supplied to the Chesapeake Fire Department and the City of Chesapeake and our citizens. Before we go much further into our ceremony, we'd like to recognize several organizations that made tonight possible. I hope everyone had a chance to look at the antique fire apparatus outside. The truck is a 1953 American manufacturer's Ford F-750 big job pumper. The Jeep is a 1951 CJ3 brush truck used by General Electric at their Waynesboro, Virginia plant from 1955 through 1968. These historical treasures are provided courtesy of retired Captain Charles Royce McCoy and his son, Chesapeake firefighter EMT Ryan McCoy. Royce is retired from Navy Regional Mid-Atlantic Fire and Rescue. He is the Eastern Region Director of the Old Dominion Historical Fire Society. They work for the preservation and appreciation of antique motor fire apparatus in America. Ryan is also an associate member of the Society. Royce and Ryan, thank you for sharing this bit of history with us tonight. A lot of work goes into an event like this tonight, and most of it is done behind the scenes. I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of the Awards and Recognition Committee. I'd ask that everyone hold their applause until all of our members have been recognized. Members, please stand when I call your name. Battalion Chief Christine Dosman, Lieutenant Jeremy DeMott, Lieutenant Jason Loritz, Firefighter Paramedic Marlon Church, Firefighter EMT Jamie Combs, Firefighter EMT Cody Kessner, Firefighter EMT Andrew Mason, Firefighter EMT Ryan McCoy, Payroll HR Technician Kimberly Combs, Part-Time Office Assistant Spring Gaynor, Payroll HR Technician Brandy Hamilton, Office Specialist Becky Van Beveren, and Retired Master Firefighter Paramedic Tony Stewart. And I'd also like to recognize Mr. Richard Perry, who's taken photos for us tonight. So please join me in a round of applause for our Awards and Recognition Committee. A special thanks also goes out to Spec Rescue International. Their generous sharing of equipment and expertise allows tonight's ceremony to be projected on the screens and to be also live streamed over the internet. And lastly, a sincere thanks to Tidewater Community College. Dr. James Edwards, Chesapeake Campus Provost, and Mr. Vince Gary, Associate Director for the Student Center, for providing us the opportunity to hold our ceremony on the Chesapeake campus. We are very grateful for your continued support. Thank you.
Would Payroll Technician 2, Brandy Hamilton, please join me on stage? Brandy's role as a member of the CFD administrative team keeps growing. Her many responsibilities include monitoring time cards, providing impact statements for approved training requests, and creating a cost analysis for each cross-shift transfer she processes. Department officers often compliment on her get-it-done attitude and get-it-done-right work ethic. In 2019, Brandy helped with the Munis project, helped streamline the payroll process, and assisted with promotional ceremonies. Fiscal Administrator Rhonda Unterbrink contributes in reduction in payroll errors largely to Brandy's attention to detail and analytical ability. Master Deputy Fire Marshal Mary Williams describes Brandy as a crucial member of the Recruitment and Retention Committee who does practically everything. Brandy's work on the Awards and Recognition Committee is equally vital. As a matter of fact, this is the only part of tonight's script that Brandy hasn't proofread. For her commitment and dedication, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Brandy Hamilton with the 2019 Outstanding Performance and Administrative Support Award.
So would Senior Firefighter Donald Van Smith please join me on stage? With nearly 13 years in the department, Vance continues to make a significant impact at the station level, department level, and community level. On a daily basis, Vance maintains an impeccable track record of outstanding performance, as well as top-notch internal and external customer service. Vance is one of 3 technicians certified to calibrate and repair the many meters carried by the hazardous materials team. This means that Vance is responsible for the ongoing maintenance of very expensive life-saving equipment. Vance provides this in-house service and saves the city thousands of dollars each year. Vance has served as B-Shift's radiological liaison, and he regularly interacts with the Chesapeake Police Department and deploys on regional training and regional responses. In several situations, Vance has been embedded with law enforcement to operate radiological devices to combat possible terrorist threats. Lieutenant Robert Oliver says this about Vance. Vance performs these tasks with dedication, pride, and integrity. It is a privilege to have Vance as part of my crew, and it is an honor to work with him each shift. The Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Senior Firefighter Vance Smith with the 2019 Outstanding Performance in Special Operations.
Would Master Deputy Fire Marshal William Billy Brown please join me on stage? Billy Brown's commitment to excellence in fire prevention is displayed in everything he does. He is the A-Shift team leader, one of the 3 primary systems test inspectors, liaison to the Clutter and Hazard Committee, and responsible for maintaining the evidence collection building. In addition to these responsibilities, Billy conducts fire and life safety inspections, ABC inspections. He enforces the statewide fire prevention code and responds to calls for service ranging from environmental crimes to residential and commercial fires. Recently, Billy received an Outstanding Teamwork Award from the Chesapeake Police Department for his actions on a traffic stop, which ultimately led to the arrest of a male who had an outstanding warrant in Arizona. Billy is a 41-year veteran of the Chesapeake Fire Department, with over 23 of those being in the Fire Marshal's office. With his experience, Billy continues to pour his knowledge into team members. He is respected by his peers and relied upon for his expertise in all areas of fire prevention. He is an informal leader, a mentor, a friend to every member on our team. Billy displays the city's core values in every interaction with internal and external customers, and does this with energy and passion of a rookie, coupled with his knowledge of a veteran. He has a smiling face, a warm heart, a witty sense of humor, and an endless supply of one-liners. Oh, and I almost forgot, he also shares his immense talent providing countless hours of musical entertainment at city functions just like this one. Billy, for your dedication to our members and our citizens, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Master Deputy Fire Marshal William Billy Brown with the 2019 Outstanding Performance in Fire Prevention Award.
Go back to work.
So the next award is going to be presented to firefighter EMT Phil Lovett, but Phil is unable to be here with us tonight. Lieutenant Waitzel Kelly is accepting on Phil's behalf. So Lieutenant Kelly, please join me on stage. Lieutenant Danny Smith, who was assigned to the training division, submitted this nomination. In part, Lieutenant Smith's nomination reads, Captain Pomgrantz sent an email letting the department know of a prop firefighter Lovett had built for the station to use for bailout training. When I saw this, I received permission from Captain Newton, Support Services, and the 4 station captains to fund the purchase and house 3 more training props for station level training. I then went through the chain of command to see if firefighter Lovett would be willing to build 3 more props, 1 per battalion for bailout training. Phil immediately jumped at the opportunity to do this. With the new props, we were able to provide a way for crews to get more comfortable and more confident with their bailout systems. These props will take annual bailout training to a new level. As confidence increases, firefighters will train at higher elevations and will explore different deployment techniques. The end goal is to increase safety for all our members while operating on high-risk, low-frequency incidents. For your passion and dedication to excellence, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents firefighter EMT Phil Lovett with the 2019 Outstanding Performance in Training and Education.
In June of last year, Division Chief Mike Tebow suggested a new annual award called Rookie of the Year. Senior staff approved the idea, and we are about to present the inaugural Rookie of the Year award. Would firefighter EMT Corey Vance please join me on stage? Corey was hired in April of 2017 and already has made an impressive list of accomplishments. Corey serves as a member of the Safety Review Board and is a peer fitness trainer. He is passionate about learning, and in addition to his probationary training, he completed a city supervisory certificate, the Incident Safety Officer course, and he is released as a deckhand on Fireboat 1. He has signed up for Instructor 1 in March and is working towards his degree in fire science. In his short career, Corey has already received 2 letters of commendation, 4 letters of recognition, 2 letters of appreciation, and 1 wow factor. You have been described as a quick study, self-motivated, and a servant leader. Lieutenant Beach says, Corey lives out core values and serves as a shining example to everyone what it means to be part of something bigger than himself. the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents firefighter EMT Corey Vance with the 2019 Rookie of the Year Award.
I now ask Lieutenant Waitzel Kelly to please join me on stage. Waitzel is a proven firefighter, an accomplished EMS provider, and an involved officer. Since joining the CFD in June of 2007, he has received several letters of recognition and several commendations for responsive and life-saving actions. Waitzel was assigned the role of Field Medical Officer after his promotion to Lieutenant in 2017. With a nationwide paramedic shortage and area departments all competing for providers from the same applicant pool, paramedic retention and recruitment was identified as an area of opportunity for our department. The EMS focus group was formed and Waitzel was tasked with oversight. The EMS focus group had many meetings, shared many ideas, conducted surveys, and interviewed subject matter experts. They formulated several initiatives which senior staff approved for implementation. Chief Edmonds stated, "Waitzel is a passionate young officer who cares deeply about this problem and strives to find solutions rather than sit idle and complain. I witnessed firsthand the dedication, passion, and sincere desire to make true and honest suggestions to improve the overall paramedic issue. He truly put forth honest, reasonable, achievable, and unbiased recommendations to improve the Chesapeake Fire Department." Recognizing his passion and commitment, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Lieutenant Waitzel Kelly with the 2019 EMS Provider of the Year.
Would firefighter EMT Timothy Livingston please join me on stage? Over the course of the past year, Tim has proven he is hardworking, dependable, and knowledgeable. When Lieutenant Novellino was on leave, he knows that the crew is in good hands. Tim's calm manner, confidence, and experience was evident when he was the acting officer on 3 large fires in 2019. In each case, Tim's clear-headed initial actions led to operations as smooth as in the seasoned officer were making the decisions. In every interaction, Tim greets the individual with a servant attitude and genuine willingness to want to leave that person better. Tim is eager to share his knowledge with his crew. He always works to the best of his ability, going above and beyond. On top of spending time training with his crew, Tim has finished his degree and continues to take as many classes as he can to better himself. Tim maintains the same servant attitude no matter the time or day or type of incident. Tim has a busy life outside the fire department, but if a brother or sister needs him, he is there. Tim is a talented mechanic and regularly shares this talent with members by fixing everything from cars to air conditioning units. Tim has rarely accepted the role of informal leader. Tim earned his role because of the manner in which he conducts himself. Members look up to Tim because they are impressed by his willingness to help, his servant attitude, and his dedication. Firefighter EMT Timothy Livingston, you are hereby presented the 2019 Chesapeake Fire Department Firefighter of the Year.
Captain Scott Hill please join me on stage, please? The Awards and Recognition Committee strives to get things right. Sometimes we fall short, but once we know of a mistake, we do everything we can to fix it. In this situation, Captain Hill was one of 3 members who responded to a cardiac arrest. The other 2 members were recognized last year, but somehow we missed Scott. We now want to take the opportunity to recognize Captain Hill for his actions. On November 2nd, 2018, Captain Hill was acting battalion chief. He was in his vehicle in the City Hall parking lot when he received a notification through Pulse Point nearby. Scott responded and arrived on scene to find CPR in progress. He had the AED and applied it to the patient. Responders prepared to start respirations when the patient began to breathe on their own. Chesapeake Fire Department units arrived on scene and they took over patient care. For providing life-saving interactions, you are hereby presented with the Life Saved Award. Just stay right there, Captain. Stay right there.
Scott comes from a family of dedicated family members. During his 29 years on the job, Scott has served in all 3 battalions as a member of the technical rescue team and on a variety of committees. As original plank holder, member of Virginia Task Force 2, Scott has responded to several incidents including natural disasters and the 911 attacks on the Pentagon. Since 2013, Scott has been the station commander for the least busy and most isolated station in the city. Some members assigned to Station 13 choose to slowly disengage from the rest of the department, but not Scott. This past year, Scott completed the pre-plans of the new Dollar Tree high-rise. He spent many hours and several months working on this extensive pre-plan. The result? A professional 19-page document that contains critical information about the tallest city in the building. Scott completed the project on duty at no expense to the city. Scott helps all CFD members understand the uniqueness of firefighting and no water zones, which are areas in the city without fire hydrants. He oversees the water drafting plan and the testing of the dry hydrants within the city. Scott researched and tested new equipment to improve our no water zone operations. Scott, you are truly a student of the fire service. You provide excellent service and consistently conduct yourself in an exemplary manner. The Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Captain Scott Hill with the 2019 Officer of the Year Award.
Would the following members please come forward, and as I call your name, please line up in front of the stage. Captain Jerry Barnes, Lieutenant Robert Stewart, Master Firefighter Paramedic Chris Hudspeth, Senior Firefighter Chip Cook, Senior Firefighter Boyd Hogan, ALS Technician David Billings, Firefighter Scott Alphin, Firefighter Tom Farless, Firefighter Danny Hawley, Firefighter Michael Phelps, when a request for help comes in, firefighters respond. In this case, with exemplary internal customer service. Life Safety Specialist Rachel Zimbo reached out for help. The Life Safety House is an important tool in teaching fire safety to children in the city and was in need of some significant repairs. It is pressed into service at events all year long. The crew at Station 12B shift stepped up to meet the challenge. Repairs included removal and replacement of damaged subfloor, leveling the floor, and then installing vinyl flooring. They repaired the steps, and they primed and painted the walls. Much of this work required tools not available in the fire station. Crew members completed the work using their own personal tools, and many members purchased and donated supplies on their own to complete the project. The work and effort put forth by this crew exemplifies both the city and the department's mission statements. The Chesapeake Fire Department is proud to present each of you with the Unit Commendation Award. Congratulations on a job well done.
Would the following members please come forward? As I call your name, please line up in front of the stage. Captain Scott Clifford, Lieutenant Kevin Lyons, Lieutenant Brian Soriano, Master Firefighter Paramedic Christopher Hudspeth, Firefighter Paramedic Richard Gray, Firefighter Paramedic Sean Robinson, ALS Technician Brandy Outlaw, Firefighter EMT Brandy Bond, Firefighter EMT Adam Rulafonte, Firefighter EMT Stephen Tyler Disherin, Firefighter EMT Benjamin Gregory, Firefighter EMT Jerome Jackson, Firefighter EMT Paulus Johnson, Firefighter EMT Connor O'Shea, Firefighter EMT Shane Pounds, Firefighter EMT Kip Reed. During the evening of May 25th, 2019, the families of Holly Cove neighborhood were having a Memorial Day celebration. At approximately 2200 hours, dispatch received reports of multiple gunshots with multiple victims. Police, fire, and EMS were dispatched to the scene. CFD crews followed protocol and donned their ballistic vests while stayed safely at Southwestern Elementary School. When police gave the all clear, crews quickly reported to the scene. There were many challenges on this call. Patients were at multiple locations with different critical levels. Family members were actively involved with patient care. All the while, crew safety was a concern and a priority. Battalion 3 and EMS 3 set up a unified command with the police department, which helped to coordinate the scene. Overall, 10 citizens were injured, with some transported by department and some self-transporting. This high-risk, low-frequency call was stressful and complicated. Crew members performed bravely and worked as a team. These members are hereby presented with the Chesapeake Fire Department Unit Commendation Award. Congratulations on a job well done.
So would the following members please come forward? As I call your name, please line up in the front of the stage. Captain David King, Senior Firefighter Robert Trail, Firefighter Paramedic Dawn Anderson, Firefighter EMT Dominic Loper, Firefighter EMT Patrick Tennis, Firefighter EMT Michael Thompson, Chesapeake Police Officer Chad Morman, and Chesapeake Police Officer Timothy Fellows. On August 19, 2019, Engine 1 arrived on scene of a working fire. The fire was in a balloon frame residential structure, which meant the fire would travel very quickly through the walls into the attic space. Chesapeake police were already on scene. Captain King immediately conducted a 360 around the home and found 2 people trapped on the balcony on the rear of the house. They told him that there were 4 people still inside. Captain King relayed the emergency to dispatch and went into action. He directed Medic 1, firefighter paramedic Anderson, and firefighter EMT Tennis to deploy the attack line and hold the fire in check. Firefighter EMT Trail, who was a driver operator, secured a water source and charged Medic 1's attack line. Firefighters Thompson and Loper used Engine 1's extension ladder to rescue 3 children, while police officers Mormon and Fellows used the ground ladder to rescue 2 other children. Captain King checked with the children's father and learned that 1 more child was unaccounted for. Firefighter Loper was directed to search the upstairs bedroom where the child was reported to be. After the search was completed, the crew learned that the missing child had escaped the house through the front door. With all residents accounted for, Engine 1 and Medic 1 resumed fire attack operations. Crews do not operate this effectively without training and teamwork. This call was fast-moving, and each of you performed admirably. You are hereby presented with the Chesapeake Fire Department's Unit Commendation Award for your dedication and service.
Would the following members please come forward? As I call your name, please line up in front of the stage. Firefighter Paramedic Christopher Pecora. Firefighter EMT John Jennings. Firefighter EMT Timothy Livingston. Firefighter EMT Robert Moore. Firefighter EMT Bradford Muter. Firefighter EMT Matthew Sawyer. On January 17, 2019, at 5:25 in the morning, Engine 9 and Medic 9 responded to a residential structure fire. Dispatch reported heavy smoke and flames, the possibility of 2 trapped victims. Crews arrived on the scene and confirmed that 2 people were home and that their bedroom was on the Alpha Bravo corner. Acting Lieutenant Livingston and Firefighter EMT Moore conducted a vent enter search isolate in the corner bedroom. 2 victims were located at the bedroom doorway, pulled through the bedroom, and with the help of outside crews, removed them from the structure. Firefighter Paramedic Pecora, Firefighter EMT Moore, and Firefighter EMT Sawyer supported the VEIS search by attacking the fire from the front door, where they encountered heavy fire and attic involvement. Once the victims were out of the structure, they quickly transitioned to providing medical care to the victims. Unfortunately, both occupants succumbed to their injuries. Firefighter EMT Muter was the driver operator on Engine 9. He had recently been released as driver operator and did not waver in his duties. He assisted in deploying lines and established a water source, providing water to the fire for the attack crew. Crews worked together bravely and efficiently, performing an exemplary manner. You are hereby presented with the Chesapeake Fire Department Unit Commendation Award for your commitment and service. Congratulations on a job well done.
Firefighter EMT Justin Beasley, please join me on stage, please. Chesapeake Fire Department Training Academy is located at St. Julian's Creek and is on Navy regional property. Because of this, our training facilities must comply with all restrictions the U.S. Navy places on us. Our Mayday Tower is an elevated training prop used to simulate downed firefighters, allowing crews to train on firefighter rescue. This prop is a regional asset and is used by multiple localities, including Norfolk, Suffolk, and Portsmouth. In July of 2019, Justin led a crew which performed some much-needed repair work to the Mayday Tower. With his background and expertise in building construction, we were able to comply with the restrictions that were placed on us by being on Navy regional property. This improvement project consisted of adding a roof to cover most of the tower, creating shelter from the weather, and tearing down and replacing walls. Justin showed the true meaning of putting the mission first. He unselfishly took the opportunity to assist when asked and made something better for all to benefit. For exemplifying the qualities of an outstanding dedicated member, Firefighter EMT Beasley is hereby presented the Fire Chief's Commendation Award.
Lieutenant Darren Gomes, please join me on stage. One of Darren's ancillary duties is to coordinate the annual service for all department and city-owned physio control equipment. This is vital work that goes well and beyond his field medical officer responsibilities. This includes equipment on frontline apparatus such as the LifePak 15 and the Lucas device, and the AMDs, which in addition to being standard inventory on fire department vehicles and police cars, are also located in many of our city buildings. Darren manages all maintenance requests, including battery replacement and damaged equipment repairs. Accomplishing this requires coordination across all fire department shifts with the police department and with other city departments. Darren maintains a spreadsheet to track the location of each device and to document any issues that arise. This process has worked smoothly under Darren's guidance. Darren, for your hard work and dedication, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents you with the Fire Chief Commendation Award.
Will Lieutenant Brian Soriano please join me on stage? This award is being presented to Lieutenant Brian Soriano. Brian is unable to be with us tonight, but Lieutenant Kevin Lyons is accepting on Brian's behalf. On April 23, 2019, Lieutenant Soriano was driving in the city of Portsmouth with his daughter in the car. He witnessed a minor motor vehicle accident. Brian safely parked his car and recognized the driver was in cardiac arrest. Brian and two off-duty Portsmouth firefighters working nearby removed the gentleman from the vehicle and began CPR. Portsmouth Fire and Rescue units arrived on scene, and Brian continued to help, managing the LifePak 15 cardiac monitor and working seamlessly with Portsmouth crews. After several minutes of resuscitation, including defibrillations, a pulse was regained on scene and the patient was transported to the hospital. The patient, a retired Portsmouth police officer, had a 100% coronary occlusion and was sent to the cardiac cath lab. On April 30th, 2019, that patient was discharged home to his family. Portsmouth EMS coordinator Jeff Meyer was extremely complimentary of Brian's leadership, clinical skills, and his ability to fit right in and work side by side with Portsmouth, and it resulted in an extremely positive outcome. In recognition of your servant's heart and uncommon expertise, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents you with the Fire Chief's Commendation Award.
Would retired firefighter EMT Winford Wynn Evers please join me on stage? I'm not sure we've ever presented an award to a retired member. Wynn, you may be the first one. The Chesapeake Fire Department has been a leader in many aspects of firefighter safety. One area in particular is radio communications. The radio maintenance team discovered they could add channel announcements to radio programming. This would allow a firefighter to hear their radio change channels. Wynn has a unique radio voice and was asked to be the CFD's voice on all the main radio channels. Wynn accepted without hesitation and used his own equipment to record each announcement on a WAV file. Over the years, Wynn donated an incredible amount of time to this project and set example for others in the region to follow. You may recognize Wynn's voice from area traffic reports and commercials. Firefighters hear Wynn and know they are on the right TAC channel. Wynn, how about one for the old timer's sake? TAC 2.
Oh, sure. TAC 2. Can I say something? I did catch some kidding when we did add these alerts, and I guess it was the Chesapeake emergency when I went Chesapeake emergency. Well, I had a lot of urgency to it, but Lieutenant Gayhart told me, he said, you know, when if I'm in trouble and I switch to that, I know help's on the way. So I'm glad I'm still riding with you folks. Thank you.
So would Master Deputy Fire Marshal Charles Emmerich please come to the stage, please. Everybody who knows Charlie knows that he is a highly decorated and effective member of fire prevention. He has over 35 years of service and dedication to our department as both a firefighter and as a deputy fire marshal. What you may not know is what is equally admirable is what Charlie does off duty. Captain Chris Moore says of Charlie, one of the things I personally believe shows his passion for serving is service as a member of the MDA team. Charlie is also an active member of the MDA team and has been for years. For the past 7 years, Charlie has dedicated his own time off duty to assist Lieutenant Evers and me with picking up collections each evening. He also attends the MDA IAFF conference and summer camp with us. Senior firefighter Chip Cook has this to say about Charlie and his outstanding work with the MDA team. For the several years that I have assisted with the money collections from the MDA Fill the Boot campaign, Charlie has always been there to help and support the team in this time-consuming task. This task starts in the early evening and oftentimes will last well into the late of night due to call volume and the dedication of our CFD companies collecting up until the last minute. It also takes place on 2 consecutive weekends in August when it's a great time to hang out with family and friends, but rather Charlie chooses to donate his time to this very worthwhile cause. He is always willing and very happy to help with whatever area the MDA team needs. All the stations have had nothing but great things to say about Charlie's willingness and positive attitude. For your dedication and personal commitment to the MDA and the Chesapeake Fire Department, Master Deputy Fire Marshal Charlie Emmerich, you hereby presented the Distinguished Service Award.
Would Captain Steve Bradley please join me on stage? Steve's wear many hats. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Steve is Assistant Fire Marshal, Public Information Officer, Fire Inspector, Fire Investigator, Captain, Paramedic, Coach, and Mentor. Steve does it all, and he does everything exceptionally well. As Assistant Fire Marshal, Steve has law enforcement responsibilities. He provides expert advice on complex code issues and personally assists in investigations as needed. As the department's lead PIO, Public Information Officer, Steve routinely interacts with the media and notifies fire department administrative staff, the city manager's office, and elected officials of significant incidents. Steve streamlined notification procedures to inform all council members of working incidents through Everbridge. Steve provides guidance and support to 3 district alternative PIOs. Steve is involved with production of the public safety announcements to include cooking safety, stand by your pan, water safety, CPR and AEDs, and the annual campaign to prevent drunk driving among high schoolers called Every 15 Minutes. Steve is an excellent steward of city resources. He recently evaluated fire prevention's training budget and saved over $4,000 by managing training recertification hours for our personnel. Steve always searches for the most economical solution to replacing our equipment and supplies. He brought forward an innovative idea to improve our billing through mainframe for our operational fire code permitting processes. Steve also serves on the Cluttering Hazard Work Group, the Recruitment Committee, the Public Safety Committee, and attends the bulk terminal manager's quarterly meetings. Steve's work attitude and leadership style motivates everyone that he works with. He consistently exceeds expectation and always displays a strong work ethic. Captain, in recognition of your dedication and selfless service, Captain Stephen Bradley, you are hereby presented the Distinguished Service Award.
As I call your name, please line up in front of the stage, please. Lieutenant Corby Cottrell, Master Firefighter Paramedic Chris Hudspeth, Senior Firefighter Jason Moody, Senior Firefighter Jupiter Wilson, ALS Tech Michael McMahon, Firefighter Julian Butler, Firefighter Connor O'Shea, Part-time Paramedic Crystal Anderson, and Mr. Wendell Deloach. On June 15, 2019, Mr. Wendell Deloach was the on-duty lifeguard at a public pool in Chesapeake. Julian Butler, an off-duty Chesapeake firefighter, was relaxing at the pool. The busy pool was suddenly chaotic as both Wendell and Julian became aware of a 6-year-old boy underwater. Both men acted quickly and worked together to get the boy out of the pool. They performed CPR until Engine 11, Medic 11, and EMS 3 arrived on scene. CFD members immediately assisted with patient assessment and resuscitation efforts and discovered the boy had regained his pulse. The patient was transported to the hospital. For providing life-saving interventions, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents each of you with a Life Saved Award.
Several years ago, Chief Elliott went to a conference and came back with an idea. He envisioned a community of people who all had one thing in common. They survived a near-death experience in the city of Chesapeake. These are people who did not have a heartbeat when CFD personnel arrived on scene, and the medical interventions provided by bystanders and first responders saved the patient's life. This does not happen often, and when it does, we want to celebrate. Celebrate the bystanders and the professionals who respond. We're doing that now. We also want to celebrate the patient who beat the odds. I am proud to introduce a community that does just that, the Chesapeake Fire Department Phoenix Foundation. Would Public Safety Telecommunication 2, Mary Phelps, please join me? Accepting this award will be Battalion Chief John Gibson. Mary is a dispatcher in our 911 system. She performs an outstanding level on a daily basis. She grows in her job by attending training courses, taking responsibility for her actions, and critiquing her performance on every call. On February 18, 2019, Mary answered a 911 call for help. You know, let's just watch the video. Please direct your attention to the screens. Both dispatch and medical supervisors reviewed Mary's audio tape and agreed that she followed protocol flawlessly and that Mary's CPR instructions were a vital component in saving Sean's life. For her commitment and dedication, Public Safety Telecommunicator 2, Mary Phelps, is hereby presented the 2019 Outstanding Performance in Public Safety Telecommunications Award. Sean and Jennifer Piazza planned to be here tonight, but unfortunately they had a conflict at the last minute. Despite his absence, we're happy to welcome Sean Piazza to the Phoenix Foundation.
Would the following members please come forward? As I call your name, please line up in front of the stage. Captain Jeremy Miller, Lieutenant David Brock, Lieutenant Jason Loritz, Lieutenant Gary Paul, Senior Firefighter Paramedic John Crombie, Senior Firefighter Romeo Sullivan, Firefighter Paramedic Eric England, Firefighter Paramedic Davis Shepard, Firefighter EMT Devon Evans, Firefighter EMT Shane Pounds, Firefighter EMT Tony Smith. On October 1st, 2019, you responded to the report of a woman collapsed at the Chesapeake Arboretum. Upon arrival, you found the patient's husband performing CPR. The patient was defibrillated and revived, then transported to Chesapeake Regional Medical Center. The patient was discharged with good neurological function. For providing life-saving medical interventions, you are all hereby presented with a Life Saved Award. And before you leave, stay right there, Kevin. Ms. Kathy King, we're going to ask you to please come forward to meet the rescuers who gave you a second chance on life. And welcome to the Phoenix Foundation.
Please come forward. As I call your name, please line up in front of the stage. Captain Tommy Luark, EMS Officer Greg Knoll, Lieutenant Travis Robertson, Lieutenant Philip Waller, Senior Firefighter Lamont Adkins, Firefighter Paramedic Allison Murphy, Firefighter EMT Dominique Conaroso, Firefighter EMT Andrew Mason, Firefighter EMT Zachary Rollis, Firefighter EMT Alexander Weinkoff, EMT Audrey Chappell, On November 3rd, 2019, you responded to a report of a woman in cardiac arrest in her home. Upon arrival, you found the patient's husband performing CPR. Quick defibrillation and high-quality CPR revived the patient, who was transported to Chesapeake Regional Medical Center. The patient was discharged with good neurological functions. Ms. Lauren Addison, please come forward to meet the rescuers who gave you a second chance of life, and welcome to the Phoenix Foundation. I'd like to ask Firefighter EMT Ryan McCoy to please join me on stage. When Chief Elliott shared the concept of the Phoenix Foundation with the Awards and Recognition Committee, Battalion Chief Dosman knew immediately that Ryan was the right man for the job. Ryan researched similar programs nationwide.
He established contacts with other departments, such as FDNY, until the time was ready to launch the program. Through patience, perseverance, and hard work, Ryan made Chief Elliott's vision a reality. For your commitment and dedication, the Chesapeake Fire Department proudly presents Ryan McCoy with the Distinguished Service Award. Lieutenant Paul to come up to the stage for the benediction. Please join me in congratulating all of our award recipients tonight.
Thank you, Chief. Let's close in prayer. What a great night. Father in heaven, you're good to us, Lord God, and I thank you again for your mercy and your grace for us as a people. And Lord God, your protection and your drive and your giving us a commitment to serve each other. Lord God, I praise you for that. I'm thankful to be a part of a family like the Chesapeake Fire Department, Lord God, and I pray for your continued blessing and your continued support for us. And Lord God, I think of all those on duty tonight, both here, throughout our country, and around the world. Lord God, I pray for your continued safety, Lord God, and again, thank you for all you've given us, and the life and the breath you've given us, and the desire and the commitment to and the drive to help each other and to serve each other. Would you dismiss us tonight with your blessing? In the name of the Lord Jesus, I come. Amen.
So this does conclude the 27th Annual Chesapeake Fire Department Awards and Recognition Ceremony. Once we dismiss for the evening, I'm going to ask Captain Hill, Lieutenant Kelly, Firefighter EMT Livingston, and Firefighter EMT Vance to please report to the stage for additional photos. We have heard some remarkable stories tonight, and I'm glad everyone could join us in recognizing the outstanding achievements and contributions of all of our recipients. Please join us for some light refreshments in the dining area, and please have safe travels home. Good night.